Section 131 Vaisampayana said, after Vidura had said this, Kesava, that slayer of hostile divisions, endued with great energy, addressed Dhritarashtra's son Duryodhana and said, from delusion, O Suyodhana, thou regardest me to be alone, and it is for this, O thou of little understanding, that thou seekest to make me a captive after vanquishing me by violence. Here, however, are all the Pandavas and all the Rishnis and Andakas. Here are all the Adityas, the Rudras and the Vasus with all the great Rishis. Saying this, Kesava, that slayer of hostile heroes, burst out into a loud laughter, and as the high-souled Sauri laughed from his body that resembled a blazing fire, issued myriads of gods, each of lightning effulgence, and not bigger than the thumb. And on his forehead appeared Brahman, and on his breast Rudra, and on his arms appeared the regents of the world, and from his mouth issued Agni, the Adityas, the Sadyas, the Vasus, the Ashwins, the Marutas, with Indra and the Vishwadevas, and myriads of Yakshas, and the Gandharvas, and Rakshasas also, of the same measure and form, issued thence. And from his two arms issued Sankarshana and Dhananjaya, and Arjuna stood on his right, bow in hand, and Rama stood on his left, armed with the plough. And behind him stood Bhima and Yudhishthira and the two sons of Madri, and before him were all the Andakas and the Rishnis with Pradyumna and other chiefs bearing mighty weapons upraised, and on his diverse arms were seen the conch, the discus, the mace, the bow called Saranga, the plough, the javelin, the Nandaka, and every other weapon, all shining with effulgence and upraised for striking. And from his eyes and nose and ears and every part of his body issued fierce sparks of fire mixed with smoke, and from the pores of his body issued sparks of fire like unto the rays of the sun. And beholding that awful form of the high-souled Kesava, all the kings closed their eyes with affrighted hearts, except Drona and Bhishma and Vidura, endued with a great intelligence, greatly blessed Sanjaya and the Rishis, possessed of wealth of asceticism, for the divine Janardana gave unto them this divine sight on the occasion. Beholding in the Kuru court that highly wonderful sight, celestial drums beat in the sky, and the floral shower fell upon him, and the whole earth trembled at that time, and the oceans were agitated. And O bull of the Bharata's race, all the denizens of the earth were filled with great wonder. Then that tiger among men, the chastiser of foes, withdrew that divine and highly wonderful and extremely varied and auspicious form, and arm in arm with Satyaki on one side and Ridika's son Kritavarman on the other, and obtaining permission of the Rishis, the slayer of Madhu went out, and during the uproar that then took place, the Rishis, Narada and others vanquished for repairing to their respective places. And this also was another wonderful incident that happened. And seeing that tiger among men leave the court, the Kauravas with all the kings followed him like the gods following Indra. Sauri, however, of immeasurable soul, without bestowing a single thought on those that followed him, issued from the court like a blazing fire mixed with smoke. And he beheld at the gate his charioteer, Daruka, waiting with his large white car, furnished with rows of tinkling bells, decked with golden ornaments, and endued with great speed, the clatter of whose wheels resounded like the rumbling of the clouds, and which was covered all over with white tiger skins, and unto which were harnessed his steeds, Saivya and others. And there also appeared, mounted on his car, that favorite hero of Rishnis, the mighty Kaur warrior Kritavarman, the son of Ridika, and that chastiser of foes, Sauri, who had his car ready, was about to depart. King Dhritarashtra addressed him once more and said, O grinder of foes, thou hast seen, O Janardana, the power I wield over my sons. Thou hast indeed witnessed all with thy own eyes, Nothing now is unknown to thee. Seeing me endeavor to bring about peace between the Kurus and the Pandavas. In fact, knowing the state in which I am, it behoveth thee not to entertain any suspicion regarding me. O Kesava, I have no sinful feelings towards the Pandavas. Thou knowest what words have been spoken by me to Suyodhana. The Kauravas and all the kings of the earth also know, O Madhava, that I have made every endeavor to bring about peace. Vaisampayana continued, the mighty armed Janardana then addressed Dhritarashtra, Drona, grandsire Bhishma, Kshatri, Valhika and Kripa, and said, Ye have yourself witnessed all that hath happened in the assembly of the Kurus. With how wicked Duryodhana, like an uneducated wretch, left the court from anger, and how King Dhritarashtra also described himself to be powerless. With the permission of you all, I shall now go back to Yudhishthira, saluting them that bull amongst men. Sauri then mounted his car and set out, and those heroic bulls amongst the Bharatas, those mighty bowmen, Bhishma, Drona and Kripa and Kshatri, and Ashwathaman and Vikarna, and that mighty car warrior Yuyutsu all began to follow him, and Kesava on his large white car, furnished with rows of tinkling bells, proceeded then in the very sight of the Kurus to the abode of his paternal aunt Kunti. Thus ended section 131 in the Bhagavat Yana Parva of the Udyoga Parva.